Hello and happy new moon in Gemini and solar eclipse for June 2021. My name is Allison. Welcome to my new moon pick a card readings. How this works is I will have you pick from one of the three piles here, 1, 2, or 3. They each correspond with a crystal and a candle color. So you'll kind of focus on the pile, but also if you feel drawn to one of the crystals or the candle color. So you might want to pause the video to see which pile is drawn to you. I will light some incense on all 3 of these candles. Before we get started, clear the air, clear the energy. And so for pile 1, we have a red candle, and it goes with this orchid calcite. And in the center, we have a blue candle, number 2. And it goes with this blue calcite. And then over on the end, we have a teal candle. And it goes with this cute little jar of yellow calcite chipstones. So take a deep breath, or take a few deep breaths, and pick the pile that you are most drawn to, and go down to the description box and you will find a timestamp, and that will take you directly to your reading. And then there is also a 4th timestamp, and that is for a closing statement where I kind of wrap up all the readings, kind of talk a little bit about how they all connected, as well as a little more information about the energy that we will be experiencing around the Gemini New Moon and the solar eclipse that's happening on June 10th. There are also links in the description box to the candles, which I have for sale in my shop. I'm in the process of transitioning off of Etsy and into my own personal website. So personal readings are now available on my website, priestessofwonderland.com, whereas previously they were in my Etsy shop, but Etsy takes too much of my money, so I'm moving over to my own website. So if you'd like a personal reading, if you want to order the Just a Phase Moon Planner, which is, we are kicking off the start of Phase 2, which starts on this new moon and goes all the way up through the December new moon, which will take us to the end of December. So if you're interested in purchasing a copy, all that can be found on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. Please stay tuned for the closing statement at the end, and thank you so much for your support. And let's dive into the readings. Let's go. Hi, Group 1. If you chose the red candle and the orchid calcite, then this reading is for you for the new moon in June 2021 for the new moon Gemini eclipse. And I'm just going to go ahead and write the candle for you. Over to the side. Okay, so I've only picked the tarot cards, and then I've selected a few different oracle decks that I thought would go well with this reading. So your first tarot card here is the King of Wands. And the Lover's card. And the High Priestess. So before we select any oracle cards, this is a really, just the tarot cards alone, it's a very interesting reading. We've got a couple major arcana cards here, as well as a court card. So typically when you receive major arcana cards, it has to do with like big things in your life, whereas the suit cards are typically more about like everyday little things. And even though the court cards are a suit card, it's still probably a significant event. Maybe not as big as a major arcana, but this still is a very significant reading for you. I think this eclipse is going to be kind of like walking through this doorway or walking through this portal kind of energy. The King of Wands the kings in general are very confident in their element, and the element of Wands is the element of fire. So the King of Wands is just able to harness his creativity, harness his passion, harness his fire energy in a very stable way. It's a lot of times fire can get out of control and kind of go crazy, but this is a very grounded fire sort of energy when you have the King of Wands. The Lover's card doesn't have to represent a relationship, but it can represent a deeper commitment to your partner, to a friendship, but it can also be a deeper commitment to yourself. It could be a deeper commitment to your job or your career, or because of this King of Wands, it can represent a deeper commitment to a creative project, a deeper commitment to something that you're very passionate about. It doesn't have to be a person, but it can be a person. And then with the High Priestess, she kind of has the same sort of energy of being able to sit very comfortably and confident between light and dark. We have these two pillars on the side here, which represents dark and light, and then the veil behind her represents the actual veil between dimensions, between the worlds. She's able to sit very comfortably between these two things and harness both of those energies. So it's a very balanced sort of card, but more has to do with your intuition and a more internal, like psychic abilities, that gut feeling kind of energy. So really paying attention to all three of these together can be like a commitment to a connection to your higher self, connection to your intuition, can be understanding your dreams more. I think because of the King of Wands, I feel like this could be you're making a deeper commitment to something that you're passionate about. It could be like a healthier lifestyle, a commitment to getting to know your dreams and understanding your subconscious, reconnecting or deepening the commitment to yourself, to your physical body, to your emotional body, to your mental body, to your spiritual body, to your higher self. Or it could be a deeper commitment to a career or a partner. But something that you're very passionate about, you're going to, I would recommend setting intentions around committing to being your best, highest self, and doing that in a creative way. There's some creative energy going on in this reading here. So I chose the red candle for you. I'm going to just talk a little bit while I'm shuffling. I chose the red candle for you because red represents the fire element. It can represent your creativity, the direction of the south. It can represent love or passion, action, energy, power, or life force. And it can also represent any of the fire zodiac signs like Aries, Leo, and So using a red candle for spells surrounding fire, passion, creativity. Your root chakra is the red color. So using red candles for any type of intention or magic around that. So that's why I chose the red candle for you. And there will be a link in the description box for the candles in my shop. And all of the candles come with this cute little candle color magic information card. So I just want to let you know that that's there. So I'm selecting an oracle card from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. I chose it specifically because of the eclipse energy, and I don't know, it just kind of gave me this feeling of passion. So I just thought that would fit very well with this reading. So let's get another card for group 1. Interesting. So don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So this goes very beautifully with this reading because that kind of gives me the sense that maybe you were holding back on something creative or holding back on just being your truest authentic self. So this card again is encouraging you to step into your light, step into your power, get connected with your higher self, and make a deeper commitment to just being you. I really love this image here of just specifically for the Gemini moon. So like say this is you here in the center, but then we also have these different aspects of ourself. And Gemini really brings that to light, and especially with this solar eclipse, this is about like letting these other parts of yourself step forward and let your true self come into light, and to let your light shine. I'm also going to select a card from the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds. Eclipse energy kind of brings things from the subconscious, and with the Gemini, it brings that other aspect of ourself, because Gemini is the twins of the zodiac. You can even see that duality energy represented here you see it everywhere. We represented in the Lovers cards, and then with the pillars here. We all have this light and dark within us, so this eclipse is going to be about just figuring out the parts that you want to let go of, and then figuring out the parts that you want to keep. And this reading for you specifically, group 1, is asking you to really make a commitment to being your truest authentic self. And so we'll just pick another oracle card for you. Gemini. Yep, interesting. Open like a lotus, flowering spirit, revelation, and maturity. So that just really solidifies what this whole reading is talking about, is opening up like a flower, letting all of those different petals, all those different aspects of yourself, letting them bloom and allowing them to see the light. I chose the orchid calcite for you today. Orchid calcite is orange calcite mixed with black tourmaline, and this specific piece has another mineral in it that I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I chose that for you because it has the black tourmaline and the orange calcite. It helps you connect your root chakra with your sacral chakra. So it gives you like this grounded protection with the black tourmaline, and then It also stimulates the sacral chakra, which is the home of our creativity, our passion, our sexual energy. So it helps like marry those two together, sort of like the lovers here. It helps marry those two together, and so that you're able to just like go forward in confidence. So it's really great for both the root and the sacral chakra. And again, I think you should set intentions around committing to yourself, whether it's like committing to a eating healthier, or committing to a meditation routine, or an exercise routine, um, or creating or committing to your creativity and your creative projects. Maybe setting intentions around, okay, I'm going to draw for 5 minutes every day, or I'm going to work on this project for 30 minutes a day, or longer, however long you need to do that. But just committing to something, doing something every day that brings you closer to yourself and brings you closer to who you want to be and who your best self is. So let me know if this reading resonates with you. I hope you have a happy new moon Gemini eclipse, and I will be wrapping up all the readings at the end. If you'll find a timestamp in the description box for the closing statement. So I'll kind of just talk a little bit more about the Gemini New Moon eclipse, but also how all of these readings relate to each other and the new moon in Gemini. And again, you can find the link for the candles and also the link for the Just a Phase Moon Planner. If you haven't gotten yours yet, I highly recommend it. We are just kicking off it today for the new moon. So if you're still interested, we still have 6 more months in the planner, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Hello, Group 2, and happy new moon in Gemini with a solar eclipse for June 10th, 2021. I've only done the tarot cards, but I've selected some oracle decks for this reading, and we will be talking and shuffling and picking cards on camera. So first I'm going to go ahead and light the candle if you chose the blue candle and the blue calcite palm stone. Then this reading is for you for, again, June 2021. So our first card here is the Tower card. Second one is the Empress. And the third one is Temperance. So before you get too scared and terrified and upset about the Tower card, keep in mind that there are these other two wonderfully beautiful, excellent, positive cards here. You have to go through the darkness in order to get to the light. One of the other groups, like a month ago, maybe on the last new moon, or maybe it was the last full moon eclipse, somebody else had the Tower card. And so if you were watching before this, you might still be going through this Tower situation, or it might be something that's going to be happening in the next following months, or something that's happening around the eclipse, or something that you're going through right now. So the Tower card is really just about something really sudden that just kind of like turns your life upside down. It's like the bolt of lightning. It's usually pretty intense and scary and hard. But like everything, when we deconstruct something, you're able to build something completely new and completely beautiful. And combined here with the Empress, who represents fertility and passion, and I mean, look how chill she is sitting in all this luxury. So whatever is deconstructing is so that you can move on to something way better than where you were. It might be something that you didn't even know that was out there for you, and that's why the universe has to bring in this destruction, because you're not letting go of the past. and the universe is trying to get you the things that you've been asking for, the bigger, better things, the prosperity, the abundance, the luxury, the fertility that you've been asking for. So sometimes we have to let go of things, unfortunately, but it just means that around the corner, something way better is coming for you. And because the Empress kind of represents like fire and passion, creativity and fertility, combined with the Tower, it kind of makes me think of like a forest fire, and how like almost miraculous it is that so much lush life and vegetation ends up growing in the ashes of that destruction. So that kind of like makes me think like the ashes are fertilizer for whatever seeds you've planted. And this also makes me think of maybe like you're having to take something apart so that you can find that seed that you planted a really long time ago. And now it's able to grow and flourish and be fertile and abundant. And then the Empress on her own is a very wonderful card to get. She's kind of like this Mother Nature goddess type energy. But then we have Temperance over here on the end, and Temperance is basically tranquility, peace, happiness. We've got the sunshine. The cup symbolism here represents balance, like having things being even and harmonious, and so whatever this is, don't dwell on it, don't dredge on it, because you're moving into something very, very beautiful and very wonderful. So I think for this new moon, you should set intentions around finding peace and balance any way that you can. That's why I chose the blue candle for you today, because blue candles for color magic represent well, of course, the throat chakra and the direction of the west, which is water, the water element, and communication. But it also represents peace and balance. So you want to get a blue candle and light it for peace, balance, harmony. It's also representative of the water zodiac signs, Pisces. But it can also represent Aquarius, because Aquarius is the water bearer. And this Temperance card also represents Aquarius too. I don't know why that just came to mind. But so whenever I'm going through a dark time, and I actually did just have a tower experience somewhat recently, or kind of sort of going through it still, but I've also experienced it in my life, and it really is like the second that you let go, because you're just like, you get so lost in like, oh gosh, I can't believe this is happening to me. This is so horrible. How am I ever going to survive this? But then once you finally let go of that grief and that sadness, it really, like, the next thing that comes to you immediately is like love and light and happiness and joy and peace. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that this was possible. So whenever I'm going through a hard time, I call on my angels and my guides. So I decided to pick a card from the Archangel Oracle deck for you for this reading. So we're asking for some angelic guidance, and because of the Temperance also has the angel in there, I just thought that angelic guidance would be good. So we're asking for angelic guidance for group 2 for this new moon in Gemini to help us get through this tower experience. Oops, one just fell out. Thank you. Oh, perfect. Archangel Michael is an angel that I work with fairly often. I feel like he is, whenever you call on him, he's there immediately, and you just feel like you're protected. You feel like those big giant wings are surrounding you and protecting you. So his message is, you are powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. Oops. Remember who you are. And remember that you have survived every obstacle you've ever encountered. There's no reason why you won't survive this one. So just keep going and really call on Michael anytime you are feeling scared or alone. I call on him when I'm scared going to new clients' houses and I get a funny feeling about somebody. I always call on Michael to watch my back for me. And you can feel his energy immediately when you call on him. So he's very protective. He does have a sword in this picture. He's usually depicted with a sword. He's able to defend for you. He's able to cut cords. He's able to shed. He's able to like wield his sword in any way that you need him to do that. So I'm also picking a card from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. Again, just to have that, whenever I'm going through a hard time, it makes me feel better knowing that I have, or reminding myself that I do have angels, I do have guardians, I do have guides. And they really only want you to ask for help. They're always there. But when you ask for their help, I think it just brings your awareness to the fact that they're always there, so you're able to just see the messages that they're leaving you, or notice the sensations around you, or see the signs that they are always trying to give to us. So for group 2, God, the cards keep falling out today. Ooh, Direction Guardian, interesting. The Direction Guardian says, choose your path. So this is very cool. I guess maybe one of the things that is holding you back from moving on to this great thing is that you're just not really sure what direction to take. So because I had mentioned setting intentions around doing anything that helps you find peace or balance, definitely rest, but maybe using some sort of meditation, maybe Archangel Michael meditation, to help you kind of figure out what direction you want to go in. Maybe you have a couple different decisions. I kind of feel like maybe I should pick another card. Let's see if the Direction Guardian has any extra guidance. I can never find them in this book. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go. Guardians. Connect with your deepest desires, then choose the path that will make your heart and soul sing. He represents the angels of the directions. These are the ones who come to us when we are at a crossroads and we don't know which way to go. Oh, interesting. So this is kind of interesting. I never knew this before. So see how there's the bull, the eagle, the lion, and I guess this is supposedly like an angel or a cherub. So this is very reminiscent of the World card, which will be in the 3rd reading. So maybe checking out the 3rd group 3's reading as well to maybe help you find direction to where you want to go. Because the World card does have all of these 4 images on there, so that's really interesting. I didn't know that. Your path isn't set in stone. Your angels and guides have no expectations for you, so you shouldn't have any for yourself either. So maybe you're feeling like you're being really hard on yourself, or like, how did I let this fall apart? Just stop dwelling on it. Something look for the signs, look for or ask for help from your angels and guides, and they'll help you figure out what direction to go. So definitely, like, maybe do an Archangel Michael meditation, or just any sort of guided meditation that kind of, there's lots of crossroads meditations. I think I even have a Hecate crossroads meditation. It's pretty short. I actually kind of don't like it because I would like it to be longer, because it kind of takes me a while to get into that zone. But anyways, I think it's like a 10-minute quick Hecate. Definitely look into Hecate or Archangel Michael for this new moon eclipse to help you get through. And remember to always ask for help, because they are always there and they're just waiting for us to pay attention. If you would like to see how all of the readings kind of coordinate with each other, and how a little bit more about the Gemini and the eclipse, stay tuned for the closing statement, or click the timestamp in the closing statement below. But I do recommend watching the third reading as well if you are really struggling with finding what direction to go. But you definitely have some really great things. There's something inside of you that's like waiting to come out, and it's going to create abundance and prosperity and peace and balance and harmony in your life. So I hope you stay tuned for the closing statement. If not, I hope you have a happy new moon in Gemini, and I'll see you next month. Thanks so much. Hi, Group 2. I almost forgot to explain why I chose the blue calcite. So blue calcite is specifically for peace, tranquility, harmony. It's very calming. So that is something that you should be working with, or see if you can go find one at your local metaphysical shop. And that will help create peace and balance in your life, as well as using blue candle color magic. And you can find a link in the description box below for those candles as well. Thank you so much. Hello, Group 3, and happy new moon in Gemini solar eclipse for June 2021. If you chose the aqua candle, as well as this cute little container of yellow calcite chipstones, then this reading is for you for the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. So I'm just going to light your candle for you. I've got a very bored cat in the background, so if you hear any noises, that is her. But let's dive into your cards. So I picked just the tarot cards, and then I selected a few decks to choose from, some oracle decks to choose from to get a little bit more clarification if we need it. So your first tarot card here is the World. The Five of Cups. And the Page of Swords. So, the World card usually represents the end of a cycle. It's a completion. It's you've finished something. It's like whole. There's the infinity symbol. It symbolizes cycles. However, combined with this Five of Cups here, I feel like for some reason you're not celebrating this completion or the success. You're dwelling on something. I call the Five of Cups the crying over spilled milk card, because it's just like you're crying over these 3 cups spilt over here, but then there's these 2 cups standing that you've got your back towards, and you're not even noticing that that it's there. So you're dwelling on something in the past. You're looking back at this completion, and you're not happy about it for some reason. But usually the World is a very positive card, so you should be happy. But you're dwelling on something. And then we have this Page of Swords that, again, also usually represents ideas. Pages are all about learning something, and like the cloud surrounding him usually represents ideas, but it can also represent a clouded judgment. So depending on what's going on in your life, this could be something over here is clouding your judgment, and the sword is the air element of wisdom, learning. So how what I'm picking up from this reading is that you're not happy about something that has ended. You're sad and you're having trouble letting go, and something is clouding your path, so you're just having maybe like too many thoughts about it, and you're not able to see the big picture. And while I'm talking here, I'm going to shuffle these cards from the Everyday Witch Oracle. I chose this deck because, well, the two Oracle decks that I chose for this reading, because they're really good like everyday cards. And starting this new moon cycle, I think it would be a good idea for you to start something new in your everyday routine, because when you're like depressed and sad and you're dwelling on something, it's hard for you to like get up in the morning. It's hard for you to get through your day and do like little mundane tasks. So I like these decks for everyday use. There's something that maybe you can incorporate into your daily life, just to help you get past this stuck energy that I'm feeling in this reading. I also think it would be a good idea to learn something new because of the Page of Swords card here, and that might help you focus on new things and starting a new cycle. Eclipses are kind of about like taking a glimpse at the past or something in the subconscious, and then either letting them go and bringing them into the future, letting them go and moving on and creating something new, or deciding to bring them with you. In this case, I feel like it's something that you need to let go of, and you're just kind of having a hard time doing that. Okay, so, gratitude and thanks. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I have a friend that reminds me of this card, so it always makes me think of her. And this card is gratitude and thanks. So I'm going to put this over here with the world, because I think that you should be maybe acknowledging that you have completed something, you were successful at it, like something good, like focus on the good things, be grateful for everything that you have, everything that you've been through, even the difficult things we can find something grateful to be about them. I know that even though how difficult it was when my dad was sick and then when he passed, although it was a very difficult, horrible time in my life, the last few years of his life, we became closer. So I have that to be grateful for, even though obviously it's something sad. But there are silver linings to everything, I guess you can say, and actually that kind of makes me think of the Page of Swords card here. So find the silver lining and express gratitude for the good things out of everything. So I'm also going to select a card from, sorry, I don't know my, sorry, I had to take a sip of water there. So I'm also going to pick a card from this Sacred Hags Oracle. This is a brand new deck that just came out, I guess maybe like a month ago. It's amazing, and again, it's a perfect deck for incorporating daily things into your life, because each card has a morning ritual suggestion and an evening ritual suggestion. So these, again, are things that you can do every day to kind of help you get out of that funk, or just kind of change the direction of your day into a positive one. She also has a lot of great rituals for just like connecting with the deck. And I'm going to do a deck review on this because it's just so phenomenal. But one of them is recommending you pick a card every day for a month for the start of a moon cycle. But that ended up, because these cards are so heavy and they really dig deep, and a card a day was too much for me. I needed to spend more time with one card. So I've started doing one card a week, and that seems to be working really well so far for me. So yeah, I recommend doing that with any deck, actually. And again, it's something that you can incorporate into your daily life. So let's get a card for group 3 for this new moon in Gemini solar eclipse cycle. Help us find a good morning ritual. Let's see. And I'm just going to flip through the book because this is a new deck, so sorry, just give me 1 second. Interesting. So kind of 2 cards fell out, and they are very similar with one another. I was looking to see their meaning, and I was just going to pick one of them, but so these 2 cards fell out. The first one is the House of Yaga, so this is associated with Baba Yaga, and the Season of Holy Thunder. So I was going to pick one of them, but they are both very similar. And one of the reasons I know that is because I'm working with this one this week, the Season of Holy Thunder, and its morning ritual is to just kind of say this little prayer and meditation to the crone or the hag, and ask Spirit to send you messages throughout the day. And it's also a promise to acknowledge those things. So personally for me, I always see sequence of numbers, and 22 is my birthday. So when I see 222, I know that that's a sign, and I pay attention to it. But this morning ritual asks you to commit to acknowledging those things. So doing a wink or smiling or saying thank you, expressing gratitude for receiving the sign, so that they know that you've received it and you appreciate it and you're grateful for it. So for example, if I see 2:22 on the clock today, I know to do a little wink or a smile or say thank you for sending me this message. So comparatively to the House of Yaga, I think it has, where did it go? 56. And it's a blue card. Where are the blue cards? Okay. 56. Is kind of saying, it's very similar. So it says, take stock on this new day of the recent moments when you were sure magic existed in the world. Write down as many as you can. So, for example, if you were going to do this for this entire moon cycle, say in the morning when you do your morning prayer, ask the crone to send you messages and promise that you will acknowledge them, and then get out your journal and write down everything that happened yesterday, all the signs that you saw yesterday. But this can also be throughout your entire life. So just kind of starting a journal practice every morning of making a commitment to notice signs from your guardians and guides, and it just helps solidify that connection with your spirit team, I guess, if you would call. So the evening ritual for the House of Yaga is, it says, speak these words tonight at your bedside, and imagine the countless other wildlings speaking them with you. And it says, this is really beautiful, I've done this one too. So it says, grandmothers whose names I do not know, tonight I pray to you. I pray I remember the ways of storytelling crone and tap into a more mythic memory. I pray you find me in my dreams and speak witch to me. I pray you sing me into a deeper sleep with your heathen tongue, and I pray with my whole heart and soul, I pray that I wake the wildest version of myself I've ever known. So mote it be. So this is again asking your spirit team to communicate to you in your dreams. So the morning ritual is asking them to show you signs during the day, and then the evening ritual is asking them to show you signs during the evening. And back to the other one, the evening ritual. Yeah, it's very, very similar. So asking the crone weaver is what she's calling her, to communicate with you in your dreams. So whichever one speaks to you, they are both pretty similar, and this will also help get some of this subconscious energy, these clouds surrounding the Page of Swords, and help make some sense out of them, and help get some clarity so that you're able to move forward and let go and remember, hey, there's these two things here. So maybe setting intentions about learning something, maybe learning more about your spirit guides, learning more about connecting to your dreams and your subconscious, and that again will connect you to your higher self and your more authentic self, which I think is going to be the theme for this Gemini new moon eclipse. Also, maybe starting a gratitude journal every morning, saying thank you for the things that you have, or thinking of like 3 things every morning that you are grateful for. Oh, and I chose the yellow calcite for you because yellow calcite is solar plexus energy. It helps you have confidence and strength to move on to something. It's solar plexus energy. Solar plexus is all about your true self, your authentic self, and having confidence to shine your light in the world. So I hope that this reading resonates with you. Stick around right after this segment for the closing statement. So I will kind of like wrap up all the readings, talk more about the new moon in Gemini. If you're interested in these candles, you can find a link for them in the description below. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next month if I don't see you sooner. Thanks so much. Hello, thank you for sticking around. Happy new moon in Gemini. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to wrap up all of the readings that we had today and kind of talk a little bit more about this new moon in Gemini and the solar eclipse. I also want to let you know that I'm having a crazy sale on the Just a Phase Moon Planner. I am offering a twofer, so like buy one, not really a buy one get one free, but if you buy 2, you get a discounted price, a heavily discounted price, and that way you can share it with a friend and you guys can go on your own moon journey together. So we are kicking off the start of the Just a Phase Moon Planner. And please excuse this one. I accidentally spilt a smoothie on it, so this has just been my like show demo planner, but it's a little messy and dirty because obviously I can't sell one that has smoothie spilt on it. But so I lost my train of thought because I got distracted by the smoothie. So looking at the new moon in Gemini is all about, it's ruled by Mercury, so it's all about communication. Geminis are fun and talkative, and they're usually really funny, kind of jokester kind of energy. They kind of get a bad rap because they're they kind of show these Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of duality kind of personalities. And we all have that within us. And I think the reason that they get a bad rap is because it triggers something inside of us that we know that we have that other side too. We have that dark side, we have that shadow side. So I think it just kind of, okay. Having some technical difficulties here, but I'm glad that happened because we are in Mercury retrograde, so things like that are pretty common to happen. And it also brings up a point that I don't think I would have mentioned before. The new moon in Gemini, solar eclipse, is happening in the sign of Gemini. Mercury is also in the sign of Gemini. So I think that this Mercury retrograde might be feeling a little more intense than the previous one that we had in February, because everything is Gemini. That's communication. Everything. Like, I'm even having trouble. Like, I've done this like 3 times. I'm having trouble talking about it because I feel like I'm not explaining it accurately. But what I wanted to mention is that we are kicking off the Just a Phase Moon Planner with this Gemini solar eclipse. So you got your journal questions to kind of look into, as well as a coloring page and some free space, and then some more information about the summer solstice, which will be happening on the 22nd, which is also around the time that Mercury will go direct. So between now and the summer solstice, really take extra time with communicating, with checking things, double checking things, triple checking things, any paperwork or anything that has to deal with communication. That can be technology. Technology tends to have problems around this time. And so yeah, that is a very common theme for this new moon. And I really feel like I'm just looking at what I wrote in the new moon Gemini and the Just a Phase Moon Planner. I think that this time is giving us the chance to be really clear with ourselves and with everybody else about who we are, who we want to be, and figuring out what our highest, true, best self is, and bringing that out. The kind of metaphor I use in the Just a Phase Planner is because I associate Gemini, the sign Gemini, with butterflies, imagining that if you were in this little cocoon and were able to hibernate and kind of grow and then rebirth yourself into like this your best, highest self. And what is it that you would need in that cocoon? What information, what resources, what finances, what education, what knowledge, what healing that you need to do in that little cocoon in order to be yourself, your truest, highest, best self. And I think that this is going to be a really big one for everybody. I'm going to pan down to the cards now, because when we look at all of the tarot cards from all 3 of the groups today, look at all of these major arcana cards. Major arcana cards usually represent a big thing in your life. The suit cards are usually just kind of like everyday mundane things, but the major arcana cards, we had the World, the Empress, we had a lot of court cards too. Not many suit cards, but so the biggest thing overall is about, with the High Priestess, we're getting in touch with our intuition, and then moving in with the Lovers is about committing to that gut feeling, that intuition, who you really are on the inside. Group 2 had the Tower card, which is very scary, but a lot of times we have to go through the darkness to get to the light, and we have to destroy things, deconstruct things, and get down to the source of everything in order for it to grow. And that came forward with, I think, the Empress was before that one, actually. So the Empress is all about fertility and growth, pulling back the rubble, pulling back the onion, the layers of the onion, and getting down to that true authentic self, so that you're able to grow and fertilize with those ashes. And then we moved into the Temperance, which is all about harmony and tranquility and balance, and the world is about the completion of a cycle. Now, each group individually had its own challenges that you needed to overcome in order to get to these more positive cards and positive outcomes. But a lot of it was about getting in touch with yourself. And this card, for example, shows 3 different aspects of yourself. This is like the main self, and then these could either be different aspects of yourself, or these could be your spirit guides. So there was a lot of themes running around getting in touch with your higher self, getting in touch with your authentic self, getting in touch with your angels, or your guides, and just figuring out what direction you want to go. This was also, where are they? These 2 cards, the World and the Direction Guardian, are very, very similar. And so it's just about like figuring out what it is that you really, really want. The way deep down, like you have to dig deep, pull those layers of onions away, shed your snake skin, get rid of your mask, recreate yourself, rebirth yourself, and grow and start anew. And that's exactly what the new moons allow us to do. They allow us to have a clean slate and get a fresh start. And then the other cards that we had today were Open Like the Lotus and Gratitude. So that is opening like a lotus. The lotus grows underwater in the dark, in the mud, in the muck, and then it forces itself up through the water, cleanses itself, and then opens up on top of the water, and then you have this beautiful flower with all these different facets of yourself, which is also reflective of Gemini. We think of Gemini as butterfly, we think of it as a mirror, as the twins, and also just like we all have these multifaceted aspects of ourselves. And then, of course, just always remembering to be grateful for what you have, for what you've been through. Even if it was a dark time, there's still a silver lining there. And a couple of the exercises that we got from these oracles here are to start a morning and an evening ritual, whether it is making a gratitude list every morning, or making a point to communicate with your higher self, to check in with yourself, check in with your intuition, check in with your gut feeling throughout the day, but make a commitment to that in the morning. Say, I'm going to go through the day and really pay attention and stay grounded and stay focused and stay true to myself. And then acknowledging those little, I gave the example that I see sequence of numbers all the time. I see 111, 222, 555. I see those numbers all the time. Or sometimes you'll like just notice different signs and symbols, like animals. I just had a rabbit in my yard earlier, and I love the rabbit as a spirit animal, or just noticing these little things throughout the day, making a commitment to that, to acknowledging them and saying thank you for them throughout the day, and then the evening ritual that was recommended in both of these cards were to really connect with your dreams, to make a commitment, like before you go to sleep when you're lying in bed. Just ask. You can say it in your head, or you can say it out loud. I want to communicate with my spirit guides tonight, or I want to go on a journey tonight, or I want to you have a question that you want asked, so that you're making that connection with your subconscious and your conscious brain, and trying to actively dream where you want to go in your dreams, do what you want to do in your dreams, have lucid dreams, astral travel, that kind of thing. It's all about these little tiny exercises that we can do on a daily basis that actually helps make that connection. And by dreaming, you're communicating with your higher self, you're communicating with your spirit guides, and this is a really good time to be doing that on the Gemini New Moon, because Gemini is all about communications and understanding duality, understanding that subconscious part of yourself, and understanding those other sides of yourself that may be hidden and deep and buried and are underneath are on the bottom of the iceberg. So I mean, very similar themes throughout all of the readings today, and I'd really love for you to join us in the Just a Phase Planner Moon group, so that we can all share our experiences with the new moon eclipse, and how your mood tracker is going. For those of you that had the first part, we already have 6 months of mood tracking, so by now you should have a pretty good idea of how you respond to the moon cycle, or at least just gotten in touch with your personal cycle, and if it's regular, if it's not regular, or the group is private, it's very intimate for all of us to connect together. And if you haven't gotten yours yet, if you purchase today, whether you do the sale, which is 2 for $40, or if you just purchase one for yourself, I will send a digital copy over to you so that you can start working with the planner. You can print out the page, just so that you are able to do it with the moon cycle as we are going through the moon. Because even the priority mail, which is supposed to be 2-day shipping, is taking longer than that. I mean, they're still behind, and I know they're working really hard. But yeah, if you purchase today, I will send a digital copy as well. And eventually, once I run out of the hard copies, I will put the digital copy up for sale. If you find that you want to work with it first before recommending it to anybody, I understand that. But if you start working with it and you decide that you like it and you want to recommend it to somebody and we don't have any more copies left, then I will offer the digital copy for sale eventually. I'm hoping to sell out the rest of them this week. We're getting pretty close, but we'll see. I know you can still start working with it even with the digital copy. And the digital copy is great because it prints out on an 8.5 by 11, just regular printer paper, and then folds in half. That's why I chose this size specifically, because it's just easy to print out yourself. And I also like sending out just random freebie things that you can print out yourself and add to your planner. So yeah, check that out. And also the candles are for sale. We sold out of the planner covers, but I'm trying to set aside some sewing time and get some more of those in the shop as soon as possible. And yeah, I hope you have a happy new moon in Gemini. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please share. I need all the help that I can get. Thank you so much.